What's going on, traders? Dr. Fella back at it, doing a late night video today. I wanted to talk about ACN, but more important than that, you guys, I wanted to talk about trend is your friend is a powerful statement. The only thing they forget to tell you about that is a few words missing at the end, which is the what how I say it or how we say it is the trend is your friend till the end, right? So as soon as the trend's over with, usually it's not your friend anymore. Usually, unless you go down with it, unless you short it. Usually, if it starts going down, and a lot of time would be like bear traps, so you don't know. But usually, it's only your friend till the end. So I want to talk about trends, and I want to talk about how if you could combine a trend and a really strong bullish pattern, you guys, how you could have some easy money trades, you guys, and another thing is you can combine is where pain levels would be at, right? So ACN was one of my trades this week, you guys. It made a huge move, reached my target, trading it in my account and also the challenge account. And the whole thing about this, you guys see my lines right here, is because before we look at it daily, I'm going to show you a weekly chart. You can see a downtrend right here, right? And then you guys see like uptrend, right? Like whatever kind of wedge they call this, right? The whole thing is it's either going to break above this or it's going to break below this, right? So if it gets below this, we wanted to see if it was going to hold the this area. And if you see this, it held, right? This is not to throw you guys off, right? But this is one of my patterns, right? But it's usually on a minute chart. Like don't forget that this is a weekly right now, right? Pretend this is like a minute chart. If I see this one time, one try and basically a two try with a higher low, I usually buy, right? So the bigger chart yells buy right here, right? We didn't take it there because it could have been a fake out, right? I was waiting for take you back to a daily. I'll show you guys kind of a safer way to get in. So okay, there's our trend line again, right? So how many times? One, two, kinda, three, let's say four, five, six, seven, eight fake outs, right? So think psychology, right? You guys, short sellers, right? Short sellers, right? Short sellers, right? Short sellers. If you're a short seller, every time it gets to the trend, it's an easy short for you, right? So think about it. Okay, short seller, right? Short seller. Now, let's say I'm a short, right? And I'm saying if it comes back again, it doesn't crack it this time, what's going to happen to these guys? So we got one pile. Let's call these people piles, right? A pile of short sellers, another pile of them, another pile of them. They're all going to have to start covering, right? Some of them are probably already covered, but you're going to have a lot that are still probably waiting for this to think it's going to whatever they think it's going to, and then they're gonna have no choice, and the algos also to cover, right? That's our first like little psychology, mental standpoint, right? Now we're gonna talk about how I said. Remember, if you guys go to my old videos, you'll see my bike pattern like one, two on a minute chart. When you see this on a daily, it's usually strong too. If you could combine this with something else, this has like remember how we talk about trades like how Jared says from live traders, right? You want to look for reasons not to take the trade. When I look for the reasons, I was like, it's hard not to find a reason not to take the trade, right? The reason I found was we could have resistance right here, right? But at the same time, what's going to happen? All the shorts that shorted here said, okay, it's okay. We'll keep adding on our shorts. We'll keep adding on. It breaks the 50, right? That becomes half bullish. Breaks the 200 MA. Becomes almost all the way bullish, right? Now shorts are like, it's okay. We got resistance right here, right? Because it fills the gap basically right here. But guess what? There's another halfway to fill the rest of the gap all the way to here. That's why this green line, you guys, was my target area. So let me show you guys. So let's talk about the trend, right? When I got in, this is where I got in. This green line means it's a go. It's like a green light, right? So I said if it cracks the 50, makes a new high, right? and it makes a new high from the previous day, time to enter, right? So my entrance was going to, I think around 278, I believe, anticipating the break of the 200. It was hard. It's hard to say that it's not going to break the 200 just because there's resistance here. Like, think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? More shorts, how we just talked about. More shorts piled up because they see it couldn't break the 200 MA. So short sellers, sold, whatever, right? Probably covering whatever happened here, buyers and balance, whatever happened here, we caught the bid right here, right? So right here is where it started the trend, you guys, May 8th, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green days in a row, not one red day yet, right? And this is a daily, right? That's why I say the trend is your friend. How do we make a trend line? You take just a line simply, like, let's remove this. If you don't know how to make trend lines, I'm pretty sure everybody knows. But let's just say I'll just get one of them line things, right? That's my middle trend line. I'll show you why I put that in the middle, you guys. Like back in the day when I first started trading, I would make like a street thing, like, you know, like the range of the trend line. Let's say 1, 2, 3 touches, right? The trend, right? There's my trend line. And then if I want to see a channel, some people like looking at the channel, right? It's a narrow channel, right? I usually just see it in my eyes, right? I don't have to draw it, but you kind of get what I mean. Let me make this a different color. Edit properties. Let's just make it white for now, so it can stick out a little better. You guys can kind of see the trend line. Activate properties. Let's make it white again. And boom. Okay. Now how I see this, let's show you guys now how I see this is really like childish, right? So first of all, like I see it like a check mark thing, right? Some people call it like a cup and handle pattern, right? Where we go like this and it might come back in here and make the ultimate finish, you're making the formation, right? But how I see this is double bottom with a higher low, right? Boom, boom. How I see the trend, how I see the yellow line is like I said, childish. Like this is a street, right? This is how I see it, like a road. Just pretend it's a road, and we're just following the road. Pretend this is my car or whatever it is, and I'm just staying in the road. I'm just hopping in the road. I'm just staying in the road. As long as I stay in the road, I'm still being the car, right? So let's say this is me and this is the road. This is the yellow line in the middle of the road, right? So this is kind of the middle of the road, right? So that's why I like to use that line, just to help me balance out. I don't know if it's a psychology thing, but I've seen it a lot. Like, let's say if we go on the 4-hour chart, it's a little off here. So you got to know how to do it, you guys, right? It's like the middle of the trend off the daily, right? So I'll say, okay, this has going to be like some resistance there too, just in case. But if it gets here, we'll have pressure to get. You never know. It could be a lot of sellers like to short the channel. If there's a hidden channel there, if it bounces off this, it might come back and test back this. So that's how we look at that. But I won't have this drawn, but I'll have it like in the back of my head, right? Right. Just say like, okay, in my back of my head, there's like a hidden channel. If it bounces right here and comes back, it could just keep playing in this channel, right? As long as it stays in the trend, I'm like trailing it, trailing it, trailing it, trailing it, trailing it all the way up, right? Now, targets hit, right? Where do I see this going? Let me show you where a lot of shorts got tricked, right? Right here on this day. If I show you like maybe a 30-minute or hourly, let's go to hourly. That's why you never want to be an early short, you guys. Let me show you. Let's do a 30-minute. There's a few lines, you guys. There's a trend on every chart almost. Like you could put a trend line on every chart. That's why it's a strong trend, right? Now, this is where I was getting in right here, where previous resistance broke, and then look, it becomes support to the T. And I'll even show you guys in the challenge account where you go to history, and then it'll show you like the price 278.15. Take profit was 288.62, right? But I got out where I trailed it at 285. It's okay because I took other trades, even though I got out. Like you could say, oh, you should have stayed in, but what if it never came back up? I was gonna get back in on that bounce. Let me show you guys. Where's that? Where it broke it yesterday. I was trailing it, so I put risk management first, you guys. So right here, where was it? Right here, I believe. Yeah, let me go. Oh, right here. When it broke this trend, that's when I was like, you could see me trail it out, right? But I was watching it. I was like, okay, if it gets back above this trend, I might get back in. But I was in like 2, 3 other trades by then, so I was like, I was full out, so I didn't get a chance to. But you see how it got to target, you guys. That's why there's like Jared talks about in live traders, but how there's like an 80% rule. Try it again, 80% of the time it might get there. So just depending on how it is, the trend is still there. Volume still low. Like it might have went up a little bit today, but let's check out. Let's see. Um, yeah, but even though it stepped up a little bit today on the volume, the past couple weeks it's been like really low volume. Like volume today came in at 2 million, still at the lower bottom of my chart, and I got this arranged by volume. But you guys kind of see how you combine multiple strategies, and then if you're good at reading the tape on the level 2, you can see where all the buyers. There was hardly any sellers. I believe that the target is for them where they're gonna try to take it to is 300. But like where I was telling you guys before, where a lot of bears got trapped was right here this day where they think it couldn't, like I said, that's where I went long, you guys, because I said all the shorts are gonna come in, and if it's gonna squeeze, we have a gap to fill, and that's a good gap to fill if it squeezes. So even though I was going up, psychology would tell me, like normal human behavior would say, okay, it's about to go down, right? But you really want to do what the opposite of everybody thinks. That's why I said no, because if they push it above the 200, all these guys are going to be in pain. Another thing is, remember, all their pain levels, what are they going to do? They're going to start covering you guys that took the stock to target. I believe they're going to probably be, hopefully, at least 300 target on this. But that's the goal, you guys, is try to combine multiple strategies into one. And don't get nervous in the trade, you guys. Follow the trend all the way up. Follow the trend and trail it. Like even if you don't know how to use a trailing stop loss, keep moving your stop loss. That's how I trail this. Like let's say every dollar I move it up 50 cents. Every dollar I move it up 50 cents. Every $2 I move it up a dollar. Sometimes you give some back, but sometimes you'll get some good trades. You know, like I'll risk, like I'll do like a VWAP strategy, right? Like watch my VWAP video, you guys. So I'll risk one candle. Let's say this goes above VWAP. I'll say, okay, I'm gonna risk one candle, and that's it. Wherever the trend breaks, we'll get out, right? So let's say I'm watching this live in the day, right? Let's say, oh shit, it held support and it broke VWAP. All right, so I'll watch this, right? Right, let's say before I see this, before I do this, I'll watch this. I'll be like, oh shit, there's a flag there, right? There's a little flag there. Let me zoom in so you guys can see a little better. There's a little flag there. There's a little flag there. Let me make it better. Flag, flag pattern. See, another flag. So not like we're still holding it, right? As long as it breaks support, right? If I'm doing like quick technical analysis in my brain, watching this live, right? This is resistance, right? Right here so far. Breaks resistance, comes back, becomes new support, and a flag pattern. I'm like, okay, I'm still in it. That's where actually you add, especially with a strong bar like that. And when you see a new highs, I'll just like follow the trend, like keep trailing it. If you don't want to trail it, do a trend, make it easier for yourself. You could put a trend like this, and you could be like, okay, trend is my friend till the end. As soon as it breaks the trend, I'm out. As soon as it broke the trend, what happened, you guys? You're out. Some people even short when it breaks the trend because now you got a whole new trend. But you gotta have like years in the market for this to do this. The goal is at least get out. So I hope that helps a little bit, you guys. I'm gonna get going. Me and my fiance, we're about to have dinner. Remember the motto, you guys: plan the trade, trade the plan. See you on the next one. Peace out.